Basham Yahweh, Basham Yahweh Shai, Basham Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. Salutations to the Akim and the Four Winds, preaching the truth with sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect. The elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwatium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. It says, this is our world news. Iran gives detailed answers to UN inspectors over 2 sites where man-made uranium particulars found. Right? So really this is nothing but a show, right? This is what do you call it? Theater, right? I mean the theater of life, like the apostles always say that Shakespeare say, which Shakespeare happened to be a Jake. He was an Israelite, a so-called black man, right? When and you go into what is it? Theos theater goes into what the word God, and this is really the Most High's movie, man. And these Edomites and these other nations like to pull the wool over your eyes concerning what theater, man, because it's showing at one hand they're at war with each other, but at the other hand, oh yeah, I'm just gonna give you information about what's this going on over here, what's this going over here. Oh yeah, when everybody's pushing the you know, the I don't even know what you want to call it, the CV-19, right? The jump shot. All these countries that's supposed to be were all pushing it, unanimous around the world, right? Right? The president of Iran, his daughter died after, you know, supposedly taking that jump shot, right? But the whole thing about this is what a small one is going to draw them out to the battle, because what a evil thought is going to come into the minds of these people, and especially once they be getting these grievous sores when they got nothing else to lose, right? So right here it says what? Dubai, United Arab Immigrants. Iran said Wednesday it gave new details to the UN, United Nations, right, which is basically the UN, about 2 sites near Tehran that inspectors say bores traces of man-made uranium, part of a wide probes as tensions, right? See, and that's what's ultimately going to happen. Tensions remain high over the Islamic Republic advancing program, right? Because what they're advancing, what their nuclear capability, and what the Lord said is going to happen. And what an arrow is going to be shot into the ends of the world. That has to happen. Yes, it's the comments by Mohammed Islami, the head of Iran's civilian nuclear program, came as Iran's 2015 nuclear deal with the world with world powers remain in tatters, tanters, and as Tehran enriches uranium closer than ever to weapons grade level, right? So this is we're gonna get ready to go into this nuclear war, man. Yeah, this World War III. Right. So this is Second Ezra chapter 15. Chapter 16, Salakia, verse 13. For strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow, right? Which is Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh Shai is the Most High's right hand, right? Right along with the angels, right? That's holding back the four winds. But real soon, those four winds are not going to be held back. Which those winds are going to go into that nuclear war, man. So it says, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, right? Because what they've been practicing. You know, was in North Korea? He been shooting off his missiles. Even America just recently was testing their nuclear capability. So it's starting to be sharpened, right? Ready, prepared, right? And shall not miss, right? Because they got this so-called AI system stuff that can learn as it's going with a GPS guidance, right? Pinpoint accuracy, laser technology, laser beam technology to hit the exact point that it needs to hit, right? And shall not miss when they begin to be shot to the ends of the world. And so everybody knows, common sense will tell you, no man could take an actual bow and arrow, pull back his bow and arrow, and shoot his bow and arrow and let that arrow shoot out the bow and be shot into the ends of the world. So what arrow are they talking about? You're talking about an ICBM missile, because you even had a movie with what's his name? John Travolta, called Broken Arrow. And it was what? Broken Arrow was when a nuclear missile, it's the code for when a nuclear missile is stolen. Broken Arrow for code for stolen nuclear missile. So what's this arrow? A nuclear missile going from one end of the world to the other, right? Right? Because that's what the Lord said the slain of the Lord will be. Yeah, this is Jeremiah 25, and I'm going to go 32. It says, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, which means armies, right? Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is a Lord of a man of war, right? So the Lord has armies. You people are the Lord's armies, the animals, right? The stars, the moon, the creation, but also what? These missiles. The Lord created the smith, right? Which is Esau Edom, the architect of all that can kill, right? You know, he's not like Little Richard, the architect of rock and roll. He's the architect of killing instruments, right? Right? He's Kwayan, right? Cain, Kwayan, right? Weapon. That's the blessing. You shall what? Get the fatness of the earth. What? By the sword, right? That's his blessing. But it says, behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention. Evil, right? Which means a bad time, shall go forth from nation to nation. What? Like I was explaining, these missiles are going to come forth from nation to nation. That's evil. A bad time is going to go forth from nation to nation. And a great whirlwind, right? No turmoil, troubles. Whirlwind shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth, right? All these destructions, right? War ready, sharpened, right? And here's the point right here that I'm trying to make. And the slain of Yahweh shall be at that day, right? End of the world. So see, the Old Testament cannot be put away or done away with when we're speaking of the last days, and it haven't even happened yet. In that day, right, which have not happened yet, from one end of the earth even into the other, right? When ICBM missiles are being shot from one end of the world into the other, and it shall be slain, right? People are going to die. To the other end of the earth, they shall not be lamented, right? Because, hey, people are going to be running and trying to save their own life. And then on top of that, you within a freaking thousands and thousands of miles radius. Because, I mean, when you go to the Hiroshima Nagasaki joint, you know, Fat Boy and Little Man that they dropped on Japan, which some people say they dropped off more than one, but we'll just go with their whole estimate of they saying they dropped one bomb, but that one bomb decimated 5 other cities that were close by. So you gotta think whatever radius one city is, you know, like I live in Phoenix, and Phoenix itself is pretty big, right? But then there's surrounding cities around it, and you're talking 40 miles, 60 miles, probably in diameter, around about one missile hitting and damaging everything between 60 to maybe 70 miles from where it's at, and then that's not including the radiation that's gonna extend even further than that. Which this ICBMs, they're just guessing of how powerful it is because they don't know. No one's ever really actually shot off an ICBM. So all this is going to be brand new. Like the Lord said, this is going to be a day like none other. So this is going to be a day that's never happened before. Right? So, Salakia. Yeah, but basically you ain't going to be lamented. Neither gathered nor buried, they shall be dung upon the ground. And that's it, man. Hey, that's it. Murder, she wrote. Done. You know? Well, really, it should be he, because the Most High wrote this. Salakia. Murder, he wrote. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, the Lord, he got a righteous killing for you, man. Because a lot of you don't want to get right, and then these heathens who could never really be part of the Lord's supper. You can never be part of the Lord's table. You can never be part of the Lord's kingdom, part of the Lord's law, statutes, commandments, because you will never abide by them, right? Until the Israelites, with the promise that he gave to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, force you to. And whenever time you get out of line according to the law, you'll be either killed, beaten, or maimed, or whatever it takes. And you're going to follow the laws according to the Israelites, according to the Most High, right? Yeah, so you're going to be from one to be shall when they be being shot into the ends of the world, right? So they're talking about this arrow that's going to be shot into the ends of the world. So one from nation to nation, evils, right? So behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention. The plagues, right, which are the nuclear missiles, are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth, right? Until that earth feels that fervent fire that the Lord has, that love that he has for his people, man. The anger that he has towards wickedness, man. says yes, it shall be sent and not return until they come upon the earth. The fire, right, is kindled. That's what I was. Hey, that the hey, and shall not be put out. It till it consumes the foundation of the earth, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not back, even so the plagues, right, all them nuclear missiles that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Hey, when those nuclear missiles get shot off, man, them joints, they ain't returning again. Right? Woe is me, right? Which means destruction, weeping and gnashing of teeth. Right? Scared. Danger. Woe. Woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? Which prove reincarnation, or regeneration. Right? Because he know he's going to be here in that day. Right? What people are talking about this post-rapture, or I don't know how, or whatever they saying. But the Lord said we gotta go through adversity. Right? You gotta go through it. Yeah, so this is Ezekiel 38:2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, thus saith Yahweh, power, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kadash, behold, I am against thee. Right? So the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is against Gog and Magog. Right? I'm against thee, O Gog, the chief, right? This is the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, which that is talking about Russia, right? We'll go ahead and because that whole thing with the chief.
Strong's H 7218. Ramath Negev. Ramath Negev. Second entry.
Russia, right? Right? So that's the chief prince, which is talking about Russia. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth, and all thy army. See, all these militaries are actually the Lord's army. Right? Horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling sword. Right? In the modern day sword is what? The gun. The modern day sword is what? The ICBM missile. Right? It says Persia, right, which is Iran. Iran is actually Persia. So this whole thing is going to jump off while they're so-called playing this little game where, oh yeah, and then Russia saying, yeah, I'm going to give up what's going on over here about this man-made uranium, and they're playing a game. They're playing along with these these international bankers, these rulers. Why? Because they have them in their pocket for now. But the Lord is going to allow something to happen between now and then. Something's going to happen, right? My personal opinion, speaking as a man, I believe once people get that grievous sore, That's when they're gonna have nothing else to lose. They're gonna get mad, and they're gonna realize they were duped. Esau doesn't bring nothing but death, man. You know, it says he is as death, right? Wherever he go in Habakkuk. So people are gonna see this, and hey, all this playing this theater because they're all Freemasons and, you know, skull and bones. You know, they live by the so-called code of the Illuminati. All that's gonna go out the window soon. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, and that's who's part of the BRICS nations now. Iran, which is Persia, Ethiopia, Libya is part of the BRICS nations, and with them, all of them with shield and helmet, man, they're gonna be ready to go to war. Hey, and get upon the helmet of America, man, to shoot these missiles at you. Let me skip down to the point and see if I can. There's a Sheba, Dedan, and the merchants of Tarshish, Slakia, with all the young men, the young lions thereof, shall say unto thee, art thus come to spoil? Has thus gathered thy company to take a prey, right? Hey, to destroy them, man. And hey, that's what's ultimately gonna happen. They're gonna rise up against America, against is the Israelis, right? To carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil. Right? Right here. Here it is. Because it says Ezekiel chapter 38 verse 10, thus saith Yahweh power, it shall also come to pass that at that same time, right? They playing all these goddamn games, but around that same time of Satan about to fill his belly, right? They're gonna implement the mark of the east, right? Unto the whole world, right? The Lord said he should try the world, that no man may buy or sell save he to have that mark of the east, right? So at that same time shall things come into thy mind, right? Talking to Gog, Magog, because he got that great company, right? And thus shall think an evil thought. And so all this playing, we're square men, we're Masons, we're square men, we're part of the Illuminati, we're part of the secret code and the secret honor, and all that stuff is gonna go out the window, man. Right? And let me head back up here before I forget, because the Lord said what for Persia, which is Iran, for Gog, which is Russia, or the, you know what I mean, which is the Gog and Magog, the chief prince, which is Russia, right? To be a protector unto Iran. So it says and German and all his bands, right, the military, and the house of Togomath of the north quarter, and all of his bands, and many people with him. Right here it is. This is the point. Be thus prepared, right? So they're preparing for war, preparing for the battle, prepare for World War III, which they've been doing that since the Cold War. And prepare for thyself. Thus, and all thy company, right? All the military that, like, because he's getting these BRICS nations, all these other nations that's coming under them, under their new currency, right? That's gonna go into effect in August, right? That are assembled unto thee, and be a guard unto them. So the Lord gonna have Russia be a guard unto Iran. So that's a key place why they're over there. It's a saying about what, poking the bear. Don't poke the bear, and ultimately them messing around with Iran, trying to throw their weight through the UN and through in whatever, right? Because the Israelis always had a problem with Iran, right? Because they want them to cooperate the way they want them to cooperate. They want to put in their Rothschild central bank, and I believe Iran does not have a Rothschild central bank, but it could be, I don't know. Because at one point in time they didn't. So I don't know if they somehow got in there and got a Rothschild central bank in there or not. But regardless, something's gonna happen, and them messing around with Iran, or which is Persia, is gonna what, poke the bear, because he's set up to protect them. Yeah. So this is Ezekiel chapter 39 verse 5. Thus shall fall upon the open field, right? So the Lord is going to destroy what? America, right? Which is Babylon the Great, and Gog and Magog, right? In the open field, or all those bands that come with them, all them armies, them countries, because what they got, NATO, and then now they got the BRICS. So all these nations, they're going to come. The Lord's going to lead them to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, and the mountain of troops for judgment, man. Right? The valley of judgment, or the valley of troops. Some people call it the valley of judgment. Some people call it the valley of troops. But regardless, that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a mountain of troops are gonna be left there destroyed. These governments are gonna be destroyed there. And then what's ultimately gonna happen is what? Yahweh's judgment. You're gonna fall upon the field. For I have spoken it, saith Yahweh. And what says now, the word of the Lord went out, and it can't come back void. And I will send fire upon Magog, right? Gog and Magog, right? Russia, chief prince, and among them that dwell carelessly, right? Which that's America. That dwell carelessly in the isles, right? Even the islands, all these different places, through these ICBM missiles being shot to the end of the world. Because Russia's going to shoot theirs, America's going to shoot theirs, North Korea's going to shoot theirs, Iran's going to shoot theirs, Israel's going to shoot theirs, right? All those other UN people are going to shoot theirs, right? And the earth is going to have a great shaking, man. It's going to be a great day of retribution for the earth, man. Great day of judgment. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, man. You're going to know that the Lord is the Lord, man. So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people, Israel, the real true Israelites, right? You so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathens shall know that I am Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, right? The so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians of Indian Negro descent, and you other Israelites who phenotype may look like another nation, but your bloodline goes back to Israel. You're going to know that Yahweh was your power, was your God all along. And these people, the Jewish people, right? That's basically gonna poke the bear, so to speak, right? Because that Persia is basically Iran, and them keep poking around with Iran, and ultimately, I think the thing that's gonna really get people is when the grievous swords happen, right? Yeah, so this is Joel 2:20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, right? Because America's going to go to war. Russia's going to go to war. All these nations are going to go to war. They're going to be in World War III. But ultimately, they're going to be led into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, the valley of troops, or the valley of judgment. However, most people say, but you know, and will drive them into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea, and his hinder part towards the uttermost sea, and his stink shall come up, right? Because the Lord's going to destroy you. Nothing but your stink from your carcasses is going to go up, because the Lord's going to destroy you in the valley of decisions, the valley of judgment, the valley of decision, the valley of troops, right? And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor, right? The smell, the funky smell of all you, you, you heathens, man, and some Israelites, because Israelites are among them, but they're gonna get the reward of the wicked, right? Shall come up, because he have done great things, man. You've done a lot of great things in the world, and we're not talking about great as good. We're talking about great as an evil, right? So it's time for judgment, right? Yeah, this is Second Esdras chapter 13, verse 11, and they were all mixed together, right? All these militaries from all over the place, just like what's his name? Reagan said that you will put aside your differences and come against a entity that comes from outer space, and that entity that comes from outer space is Yahweh Shai, right? And the angels that you're gonna come together or mix together, the blast of fire, right, from Yahweh Shai's chariot, from that great flying mountain, and the flaming breath, and the great tempest, right? It's how hot it's gonna be. Concentrated laser beam fire from the chariots. You basically you've seen that in the Independence Day, in that movie. They showed that great concentrated fire coming from the chariot that blasted that building down, blasted the White House, and that's gonna happen in real life, man. It's not gonna be no longer a movie, right? Concentrated fire, great tempest, and fall with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one. So you're gonna get burnt up, every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, right? Because the Lord said, get your bands and this band, and get all these armies with all suits, all sorts of suits and armors and bucklers, things, and get all these militaries together, right? NATO, you get your military together. The BRICS, get your military together, and come on down over here to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, to the valley, the mountain of troops, right? Because that's what the Lord's going to leave you as. See, the innumerable multitude. Nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. The Lord said nothing but stink should come up. Dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid, man. It's going to be a frightening moment, man. A thing that has never been seen before and never will be seen again. But it's the Lord putting that stamp, that nail in the coffin, so to speak. Putting an end to your wickedness, man. Right? And the wickedness of the 2/3. Right? Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 2. For the indignation, right, which means righteous anger, of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakadash is upon all nations. So where's that? God loves everybody, man. It don't matter where you from. It's upon all nations. And his fury upon all their armies, right? The Lord said, hey, get your armies together, prepare yourself, and prepare them. Be a guard unto them. Do what you need to do. If there be a foreign invader that comes from outer space, join together. Because you're coming, you're coming to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat to be judged anyway. The Lord, this is the Lord speaking it. He said, "I spoken it," and when the Lord speaks, man, it comes to pass. There ain't nothing you could do to turn it back. When these ICBM missiles begin to go, because the Lord spoke it, World War III happens because what? The Israelis and America, which is spiritually Babylon the Great, is poking that bear, and Russia, right? The prince of the nations, right? The chief prince, the prince, right? Russia, right? You know what I'm saying? That chief is coming to what? Coming to protect. They're going to get busy with this World War III. Right? So it says, Salaki, let me go. And all their armies, he have utterly destroyed them. See, the Lord's going to utterly destroy all these militaries of the earth. So in God so loved the world. Right? He have delivered them to the slaughterer, right? Which is Yahweh Shai. Their slain also, right? Here's the point. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcass. And the mountains, right? Your governments, all these governments, shall be melted with their blood, right? So there's going to be no more power in your military mights, whether you're NATO, whether you're the BRICS, any of these nations. And then you're no longer going to be recruiting Israelites to fight your wars. So call Loyum Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. Citations to the Akim and the Four Winds, preaching the truth of sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, the elect. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. Abba Babal.